Here's our 40-day Awakening to the Light Within meeting in the early hours or in the morning or in the night. Whenever this is happening for you, that's great. And I'm really happy that you joined to this. So all welcome, really wonderful. So I want to dive in right away because we don't want to waste any time. One of the chapters that I like to stay still with or stand still with is the inner universe in the parenthesis in eternity by Joel Goldsmith. And this is chapter 33. There are a lot of chapters in the parenthesis book, but this one is beautiful for the use for us. Like, it's interesting to read it. So I will read parts of it and see if anything shows up to share. I will definitely do that. And so sit back and relax. This is like almost like a contemplative meditation. We use the words of Joel and we read, but we receive in the reading. So it's an active form of listening and being part of this. And you will need, all of you, to listen. Like every aspect of you is allowed to listen and to become open to receive this. Then it's amazing what is going to be given. So in order to do that, it's always good to relax, because it's not that you have to do something or that you must do it a certain way. It is just an invitation to, if you're open, you will receive this. And in order to become open, it can be really good to relax and to let your thoughts go instead of doing something with it, trying not to be distracted, focusing on this. Becoming still. It is about the inner universe. So this is like we are going within and look for a moment with what Joel gives us in order to have a deeper experience of ourselves. And so I'm going to start doing that, start reading. So great, let's do that. I can't wait to do this because I love, to meet like this. Bit of reading, quiet, bit of music. I found some music that's really quieting and also helps to support becoming completely still inside yourself. So here we go. Chapter 33 of the Parenthesis in Eternity by Joel. Every spiritual aspiration, every effort in the direction of God realization is a step forward out of the parenthesis, out of the world, into the full and complete circle of eternity. As we sow, so shall we reap. And if today we are sowing to the spiritual awareness of life, just like we do in this meeting, the parenthesis is coming fainter and fainter, loses, like I'm translating this in losing its meaning. It starts to lose its meaning. It is still, present in some way, but it's losing. It becomes fainter and fainter, as Joel says. But if we are sowing only to physical comfort, to health, to wealth and position, is it not inevitable that we will remain imprisoned in the parenthesis, reaping both material good and material evil? Like using that to stay in the duality? So as we sow, so shall we reap. And if today we are sowing to the spiritual awareness of life, the parenthesis is becoming fainter and fainter. But if we are sowing only to physical comfort, health, wealth and position, is it not inevitable that we will remain imprisoned in the parenthesis, reaping both material good and material evil? It's not inevitable that you get the consequences of your decision. Our primary concern, therefore, is with the sowing of this present moment, and that has nothing to do with anyone else. There is no one who can help and no one who can impede our spiritual progress. We determine to what extent we will dedicate ourselves to the spiritual path. We determine how seriously we will devote ourselves to this way. If we are devoting ourselves to an inner spiritual practice, no one can interfere with it because no one knows that it is going on. So hence your secret. This is your inner secret. Like only you know how you do this. Only you know how dedicated you are or how much you give to this. What you actually, from the bottom of your heart, really desire. That's where you get the result of continuously. It's like you invest in your three-dimensional duality life. You get the consequences of that. The whole spectrum. It seems sometimes just the good things come to you for a moment, but whoops, there it is. Suddenly there's a wall, or suddenly there's an limitation that you didn't see coming, and so you feel the consequences of that in every step. It's pretty amazing. So it's like cause and effect are not apart. Cause and effect are not apart. Your choice has an effect. So your choice to say give everything away in order to experience the present moment, it's like that. In fact, you are becoming the effect of source. So that is a change. That makes it totally different. So nothing outside of you can influence this. This is just your story. This is just for you. You're dedicating yourself to this. You're experiencing what you experience, literally what you ask for. What is it that you want? What is it that you're doing? So it's what you think and what you say and what you do. Is that one thing? Is there an integrity or congruence in? Or is this just a little side activity and you invest largely into the world? Or whatever that is. There's no good and bad in it. It is just you have to become honest with yourself. What is it that I'm actually doing here? Oh, I'm not so dedicated right now. I don't know why, but I'm not so dedicated right now. Or yes, I'm totally dedicated. I love where I'm in, where I find myself in, and I see the consequences of that. I feel the change that is occurring in me. I feel that I can come to this quiet place inside myself in a deeper way than ever. See, and this goes up and down in our spiritual path. There's no good and bad in it, but there's definitely say a relationship is what I say. So today we come together looking at the idea of the inner universe, getting in touch with that, leaving the things that were so important for just a moment, leave that for what it is, entering into this present moment, entering into this and coming deeper inside ourselves, into our inner universe, to have a deep experience of that what is going to be given. So I'm saying this specifically. It is going to be given. It is not that it's under your conscious control. No, your control is just in this part, that you can decide, for instance, not to decide what's the best for you. So it is more like in a humble position. You enter in with your hands open, with no ideas left, with you start to pray. You start to come into this sanctuary, your inner sanctuary, your inner altar. So this has influence. You can feel that it changes. So you can dedicate yourself to it right now. You can let go of what was so important right now. Suddenly there's more space. You have a different experience of yourself. Like, it doesn't take ages. No, you get the consequences of your thinking in every moment. It just does not stop. So each moment you decide what you want to do, where you're going to put your money, so to speak, where you put your investment in. Okay, so here we are practicing that. Letting go, allowing, opening up, relaxing into that, feeling your consciousness expand, coming to this deeper, quiet place inside yourself. See, then it becomes more energetic for yourself too. You can feel that. It's like, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's great. Yes, let go. Yeah, why not? Yeah, there's nothing to defend anyway. There's nothing to prevent from happening. There's no holding on to anything, in fact. See, and you start to come into a certain rhythm with yourself. Maybe your whole body even feels that too. It's like it's stirring something up in you. So in the universe awakening, the light in you awakening. And that moves you, of course. So also in your physicality. It doesn't not necessarily have to be that way, but yeah, for a lot of us it is that way. So I continue reading. There is no one who can help and no one who can impede our spiritual progress. We determine to what extent we will dedicate ourselves to the spiritual path. We determine how seriously we will devote ourselves to this way. If we are devoting ourselves to an inner spiritual practice, no one can interfere with it because no one knows that it is going on. So it's your personal decision, it's your personal commitment. So it makes no difference, Joel says, it makes no difference what violent objections to this way of life we may encounter in our home, in our business, in our school, in our social life. It doesn't matter if anyone is not so happy with it that you're doing it. Nobody knows what is going on in our mind because we are praying in secret. We are living in an interior world, an interior universe. This is a secret life that we are living, the mystical life, and it does not serve any purpose to violate that secrecy by telling others about it, more especially those who have no interest in it. So this secret life that we are living, this mystical life, it does not serve any purpose to violate that secrecy by telling others about it, more especially those who have no interest in it. In this moment we can leave our family outside. Father, mother, sister, brother, husband, wife, kids, whatever. Leave all to enter the Christ Spirit. Life is so completely individual that for the time being we can forget that there is anybody else in the world but ourselves. We can forget any obligation or duty we may have to others. We can forget our past, whether it is good, bad or indifferent. And even if we are not fully able to do so, we can try to forget the future in the realization that we are creating our future. Our tomorrows are determined by what we do today. Okay, so that's another part in the procedure. So it's like here we go in our meditation. So we leave everything outside, family, friends and all that, business, school, whatever activities you occupy yourself with. You leave that for a moment to come into this inner universe. So you leave that outside. You're leaving, putting that to rest in your mind. Leaving all that, letting that go for a moment, just to come to a deeper experience of yourself in your inner universe. And it doesn't matter what anyone else is thinking about that. Why would you care? Why would you care if you say, do this? You're the happening, you're your own experience. There is nobody outside of you anyway. There is nobody outside of you. So take time to have that complete in your consciousness. Deeply inhaling that, deeply experiencing that. So what you experience, do you have a possibility to share that? Well, no, these experiences that you have are not, in fact, not transferable in the verbal sense or in the human sense. So it is of value to you, and that is all that matters. That will radiate through you, that opens the door in you to extend the light. You have the possibility to receive something for yourself, not for anyone else. It's the most selfish thing you can do, but it's the only selfish thing that isn't selfish. You accept this for yourself, deeply inside yourself, so deeply inside yourself. So, and it's nobody else's concern. It is your intimate relationship with your Creator. Your realization of the true nature of your being. So we continue. The Christ Spirit is right here where you are and where I am. This presence of the Christ is in the midst of our own being. It is filling our consciousness. We don't have to reach out for it. We do not have to think. All we have to do is to be still and let it talk to us from within our being. It comes to us, it knows the way to us. God knows the way to you. You don't have to make the way or something. So I'll repeat this. The Christ Spirit is right here where you are and where I am. This presence of the Christ is in the midst of our being. It is filling our consciousness. We do not have to reach out for it. We do not have to think. All we have to do is to be still and let it talk to us from within our own being. The kingdom of God is within us. Within our very own being is the kingdom of love. If it is love that seems to be lacking in our experience, we do not look outside our own being for it. For even if we seem to find it, we will be disappointed. All we have to do to find love is to turn to it, to this great spiritual realm that is within us, and where divine love has its abode. Within our very own being is the kingdom of love. If it is love that seems to be lacking in our experience, we do not look outside our own being for it. For even if we seem to find it, we will be disappointed. All we have to do to find love is to turn to this great spiritual realm that is within us. And there divine love has its abode. Okay, so I'll play a song now. So here's a little more instruction from Joel, or invitation in fact. Go within yourself. Rest there. Rest there. And acknowledge its presence. Pray that it itself reveals itself to you. Invite it to flow out from you. And then give action and expression to it by letting that love pour out to your friends and your enemies, to your nation's friends and your enemies, to your nation's friends and your nation's enemies, to men of good will and men of evil will. Open your heart, embracing the whole world, and say to yourself, love, flow out. Flow out to the saints to support them in their activity. Flow out to the sinners to cleanse and purify them. Flow out to the tyrants to soften and give them mercy and justice. So go within yourself, rest there, and acknowledge its presence. Pray that it reveal itself to you. Invite it to flow out from you, and then give action and expression to it by letting that love pour out to your friends, to your enemies, to your nation's friends, to your nation's enemies, to men of good will and men of evil will. Open your heart, embracing the whole world, and say to yourself, love, flow out to the saints to support them in their activity. Flow out to the sinners to cleanse and purify them, and flow out to the tyrants to soften and give them mercy and justice. Go within yourself and rest there. So this is the time we come together to just do that, to receive that for ourselves, to not worry at all about how this will extend, but to receive it for ourselves. So that's what we do. That's why we come together right now. And like I said, it is an active contemplation. It's like, continuously you make the decision, yes, open my heart. I'm opening my heart. I'm not resisting that. I'm allowing that. I'm giving that all the space. I pray that it will reveal itself to me. Continuously that decision. Let go, let go, let go. Open your mind, open your heart. Breathe, relax, breathe, open, open, open. So this moment is full of itself. It is complete and whole. It doesn't need any addition. So you don't have to add anything to it. Thank you. Thank you. So you see, if you do that say gratitude rises in you, that you feel like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Thank you so much for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is your practice. This is your prayer. Gratitude. Thank you. Open. Relax. Open. Relax. Stay right here. Wow. And more, and more, and more. Like it does not stop. You go deeper inside yourself. It does not stop. It does not stop. Thank you, God. Yes. 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 Your own experience, your own stillness, silence, connection, communication. This world is invisible. The effects of it become visible, the fruitage and the harmonies, but the cause, the law, the creator, the activity, and the substance are invisible. They are part of an invisible universe, and thanks be to God, that invisible universe is locked up within you. The kingdom, the invisible kingdom, which is the source of the visible universe, is within you. You release the forces that bless you. And in your ignorance you release the forces that curse you. But the kingdom of God, the whole of God's creation, is within you. This is an invisible world. The kingdom of God, the whole source and fount of this world, is within you, and it is an invisible world. So beautiful, so satisfying, and so complete. The mystical life is the life you live when you recognize that the invisible presence within you is the reality, and that it forms the joys of your outer experience. I and my Father are one, and in God I find my self-completeness. I and my Father are one, and in God I find myself completedness. And then when I open my eyes and go out into the world, I share the glories of God, the grace of God, the peace of God that passes understanding. I of myself am nothing, but I can go within and there enjoy God's grace. I and my Father are one.